The R-Type series has been dormant for well over a decade now, with the last entry, R-Type Tactics 2, releasing to a largely mixed reception. In an attempt to give fans the R-Type game that they truly deserve, developer Granzella undertook the challenge of creating the next big entry in this stellar series. I'm Dylan from the Beta Network, and in this video I'm going to help you answer the question, should you play R-Type Final 2? R-Type Final 2 returns to the traditional side-scrolling shooter formula that the series has been well known for. And yes, it is still super difficult. Testing your reactionary skills and memory, R-Type Final 2 will throw absolutely everything at you to prevent you from progressing through each stage. So game feel is absolutely vital here, because even the slightest delay in the button input could lead you to dying over and over and over again. The good thing is that the controls do feel fairly tight and responsive, most of the time. The problem here is that the controls can often become unresponsive at the worst possible moments. Many frustrating deaths have occurred as a result of input lag. Now obviously we can't talk about R-Type Final 2 without talking about the difficulty. And yes, this game is hard. You have to be prepared to die again and again, as this game will not let up at all. However, this difficulty is mostly caused by cramming the screen with enemies, which oftentimes leads you to being overrun without even a chance of being able to fight through. Occasionally, enemy placement will be what catches you out, but most of the time it's just because of too many enemies being on the screen at once. It is important to be aware of how various weapons and ships will change the way you fight through the stages. Whilst there is no correct ship for a certain level or boss, the way a power-up affects each ship is very different from each other. This means it does end up becoming a lot of trial and error to find which ship to use with any given situation. With limited lives and continues, this trial and error approach will quickly become a frustration. Too many times I have hit that despised game over screen because I was still figuring out which ships and weapons to use for a boss or section of a stage. If you've been enjoying this video, why not hit that subscribe button and click on the notification bell so that you never miss an upload. R-Type Final 2 looks great. It takes advantage of current hardware, creating some beautiful and gritty scenery and featuring some great looking enemies. However, the stages do look and feel quite similar to each other. Enemy movement and placement also seems to be very much the same in each stage, with an increase in the number of enemies creating the difficulty. Now, of course, R-Type Final 2 does introduce new enemies in some of the stages that create their own challenge, but they quickly become a bother because of how often they are used. On a more positive note, the boss battles are amazing. The various main bosses look unique and each provide a distinctly different challenge. Varying your approach for each boss is key, as what worked on one will not necessarily work on another. This really helps to keep R-Type Final 2 feeling fresh. So, should you play R-Type Final 2? Honestly, it depends. This title definitely does attempt to do right by its fans, and that is just the point. This will be an enjoyable experience for fans of the other R-Type games, but not as much for everyone else. Unless you like side-scrolling shooters that are punishing, sometimes unfair, and have you wandering around like a muddle-headed wombat. However, if you don't, then maybe give this one a miss. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you agree with our review? What is your opinion on R-Type Final 2? Also, if you haven't already, head over to our website, thebetanetwork.net, for more gaming news and reviews.